Hey guys, so I'm sorry that I couldn't be there in person to be talking to you guys about this, but of course, me being the person that I am, of course I would not be at chapter at the time that I have to actually talk. But you know what? It's okay. I'm recording this now, and I have what I'm gonna say right here. This is a time when having two phones is actually pretty useful. If you know, you know. Alright, so there's a person walking a cute dog behind me. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking about missions. Let me start off by explaining what a missionary is. So let's break down the word to two parts, missionary. I'm about to tell you guys what mission is. Okay, so basically, I looked up the word and it is defined as, the word mission is defined as an important assignment carried out for political, religious, or commercial purposes. And then the suffix "ary," as in missionary, is defined as a person connected with or engaged in. So what does that mean? Basically, that means that being on mission or being a missionary requires you to be engaged, so being intentional, and to be sent out. So being like on the move. So what does that mean? That means that actions speak louder than words. Basically, prayer is important, and prayer is one of like the greatest weapons that we have, because prayer is very powerful. Prayer can move mountains and can turn away hurricanes and can do miracles of like all sorts and stuff. But why are we limiting ourselves to just prayer, right? Like, God hears us, but he also wants to use us, and he wants to send us out, and so we should let him. We shouldn't be putting him in a box and just being like, just praying, but like not acting upon what we're praying for or praying to or whatever. So I looked up what the Greek verb for like being sent out is, and the word is apostolin. You guys listen, I can't pronounce things, but basically the word is apostlein, apostolin. Okay, yeah, well, that word means to be sent out, and it's pretty important because it's in the New Testament 136 times, specifically in the Gospels 97 times. So clearly it is a word that is being brought up over and over again. So it must be pretty important if it's being repeated. So in like the New Testament, that word is used over and over again to describe Jesus being sent by God, and then also Jesus sending others, such as like the 12. That sounds like a pretty cool gang though. Like, I'm part of the 12. The 12 is being sent out. Okay, guys, anyways, so yes, basically missionary, being sent out, you're on the move, you're like being intentional, being present wherever you're going. So what is what does mission look like? So basically there are three parts to like the whole point of a mission, and basically we can see that through Acts 14 verses 21 through 24, and it is the whole point of it is new converts, how you say, okay, new communities and nurtured churches. So new converts, verse 21, Acts 14 verse 21 says, when they had preached the gospel to that city and had made disciples. There's a lot of birds out here. I'm sorry if that's messing up with the sound. New communities, Acts 14 verse 23, and when they had appointed elders for them in every church. And then nurtured churches, Acts 14 verse 22, strengthening the souls of the disciples, encouraging them to continue in the faith. So again, what's the whole point of missions is to like convert people, to like show them that there is a life. Wow, can these birds please be quiet? Showing people that there is a life after this world, and that, you know, like basically just showing them Jesus so that they can like start living a new life for him and not for the world. I forgot what I was saying, the birds distracted me. But yeah, so making people like want to live a life for Jesus, for God, basically forming new communities, and also going on mission. It really like it shows you like all of God's work and all of like his love, you know, like we're going out and showing people like what he's done in our lives, and how he's worked in us, and like how he can move within us. But at the same time, like when we go out and like we talk to different people, and people that, you know, we might have like not seen if we hadn't been on mission, or if we like do things like whatever it is, whether it's holding VBS or like holding a workshop or whatever, like we're able to see God in that. So it's kind of like, it's not just a one-way thing where like we're pouring out to people, but he's definitely like showing himself to us in like through the mission and stuff. So it definitely like it reminds us of like who we serve, and it reminds us of how powerful he is, and just how loving and caring, and just how great of a father he is. So that's very like important and very awesome and just great, and like, oh, Jesus is just so good, man. Okay, so who's called to mission? If you think that you're not called to being a missionary, you're wrong. We're all called to be involved in missions. Now, yes, we're all called to be in missions. We're all called to be missionaries. The thing is that we're called to be missionaries at different times, you know? So Acts 13 1 through 4 says, hold on, I have to find it because I did not write that down. Acts 13. I had the verse on like the iPhone, but I'm using the iPhone to record, so I obviously can't use that. The struggle is real, guys. Okay. Oh wow. Alright, I forgot that this has a lot of names that I don't think I know how to say properly, so you know, whatever. You can laugh at me, or anyways, I don't care. So Acts 13 1 through 4 says, now in the church that was at Antioch, whatever, there were certain prophets and teachers. Barnabas, wow, I'm gonna butcher these names, guys. I'm so sorry. Barnabas, LOL at my life. Oh wow, the sun is going down. So cute. Anyways, Barnabas, Simon, I don't know, who was called Niger, Lucius of Cyrene, Manaen, who had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch. Well, and Saul. As they ministered to the Lord and fasted, the Holy Spirit said, "Now separate to me I really don't think I'm saying this right. The Holy Spirit said, "Now separate to me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." Then having fasted and prayed and laid hands on them, they sent them away. So, being sent out by the Holy Spirit, they went down to Seleucia, and from there they sailed to Cyprus. Okay, I'm going to read that once more, just like throughout without me stopping, so you guys can hear it again. Now in the church that was at Antioch there were certain prophets and teachers, Barnabas, Simeon, who was called Niger, Lucius of Cyrene, Manaen, who had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. As they ministered to the Lord and fasted, the Holy Spirit said, "Now separate to me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." Then, having fasted and prayed and laid hands on them, they sent them away. So being sent out by the Holy Spirit, they went down to Seleucia, and from there they sailed to Cyprus. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say here is that we're all called to be missionaries, and we're all called to like go out and make disciples, and to go out and, you know, spread the good news and everything. But I just want you guys to be like very prayerful and very intentional about knowing whether you're actually being called by God to go where you think you want to go at a certain point, because it's, you know, it's easy to say like, oh, I'm like, Jesus is calling me to be a missionary over here at this place during this time, because like, or not because, but like, it'll also be fun, like on the side it'll be fun because like my friends are going, or because this is the place that like I don't know, like basically it's easier to say yes to Jesus when during a time when like we might not be in school, to a place where we know people that are there, and that's because we'll be like in our comfort zone, and that's all great and everything, and I know that like being in our comfort zone is comfortable and it's all nice and stuff, but we're not called to comfort, okay? So if, you know, like Jesus is really like pushing you to go be a missionary somewhere like before grad school or before med school, then like think about it, because, you know, like his plan is a lot better than your plan, and, you know, maybe like you just really need to go to this place where he's calling you to before you go to med school, before you go to like grad school, or, you know, whatever, I don't know. And like maybe there's like a mission that's available to like this place where all your friends are going, and you want to go because like it'll be fun and everything. And while yes, I know that it would be fun to like do like I don't know, just do God's work with people that you like already know, maybe he's not calling you to that. Maybe he wants you to like maybe he wants to throw you into a whole new place where like, you know, 0 people. Maybe he's not, I don't know. That's why I'm saying like he calls us at different times. So in Acts 13:1-4, which I read, there was like 5 people together that were, what does it say, that were praying and fasting, and then the Holy Spirit only called 2 of them to go out into the world. And so, you know, just take that into consideration, like really be prayerful and intentional about like asking God whether he is calling you to a certain mission, or whether it's just you wanting to go because your friends are going. So when like basically the whole point of that is that while we are all called to be missionaries, whenever an opportunity does come up, always take it up with Jesus before you take it up with your friends to see if they're going to be going with you or not, because that would not be the right reason to go. Okay, so lastly, all I want to say is being on mission and like well, okay, first of all, I should have probably said this in the beginning, but I'm assuming that like since I'm talking about this that you guys would know. But basically missions is a really like it's something that's really close to my heart, and I think that it's very, very important that we have it. Like missions is how the gospel is spread. Missions is how people see God in action. Missions is how your own faith like can go deeper and grow, and like you can blossom, or just like these cute little flowers over here behind me. But basically, yeah, missions is very important, and it's like kind of like our duty as Christians to like be very open about being sent out into the world. So basically I have been praying, and I will be continuously praying for you guys that if you ever call him, if you ever hear him calling you to like be a missionary somewhere or to go on a mission trip, to really just like open your hearts and pray about it. Open your hearts, say yes to him, let him use you in any way that he wants to use you, let him like work through you, say yes to being the vessel that he can use to like love on people, to love on you. Say yes to being his hands and feet. Just say yes to him. Honestly, like there's never been a time where I have said yes to him and I've regretted it. I'm pretty sure it's the same for you guys. So yeah, just like if he's calling you, just answer that call, and it'll be the best call that you have ever answered to if you just give yourself to him, say yes, and like go on mission with him, you know, like wherever he wants to take you, just grab him by the hand and he will guide you and take you to wonderful places and give you the adventure of a lifetime. So honestly guys, mission is important. Be praying about it. I hope you guys take it seriously in life and look for every and any possible way to be spreading his joy and love. Hopefully by this time I'm already in chapter. If not, well, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.